I literally just abandoned you.
Alright, what is up guys? I am here with Adam with his Soul Striker update. So you played this yesterday,
Yes.
You went X2, right?
X2 in the end, yeah. A friend from locals also took the identical list as me. We finished 31st and 36th, I think it was, around that.
He was the one on stream who was out of training.
It is, yeah. So, yeah, it's a crazy list. Like, we both performed really well with the X2 in this format, in the Surge format with Soul Striker. So yeah, it went really well.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Cool. So Soul Striker leader, swing on tap 2. This deck absolutely abuses that, so you'll see in a second. So 4 Awakening Talon Pans. The reason why is on the unawakened side we don't draw cards, so we need to awaken as quick as we can. Against things like Piccolo Surge, it's a very slow matchup, so we need to take from our life quite quickly just to make sure we're awakened and getting maximum value from our leader. So this is why we played the 4 pans to push that awakening and push a bit of pressure on the opponent as well. 1 Freezer Death Embrace. I would like to find more space for this. We are playing blue-red in this list. This can just hard control matchups as well. It's really good with a Soul Striker leader as well, because when he attacks, he untaps 2 energy. If you're untapping red-blue energy, you can neg something by 20k just using the energy you untapped alone by this. So this is a way to efficiently use the untap on Soul Striker to make sure you're getting the maximum value out of your energy and pressuring your opponent for the kill, or just removing that problem that are on board.
Did you see it enough at 1?
It was there sometimes, but I would like to increase this number. Originally I was testing it at 3, but space in this deck is just so ridiculously tight. I ended up cutting it down to 1, but I would like to bump it up if I find the space. 4 Checklands. Never really summon it, but you can. This deck actually can also mill your opponent and win by milling as well. People don't expect it, especially from Soul Striker. I did win a couple of my matches, one against Piccolo Surge and one against the Gogeta deck as well. By milling them out, because it was too late for them to realize. I'll show you how it works, but this can be summoned, swing and neg something by 5k, which can, with an overdrive on board, mill your opponent for a further 2, so you can just keep applying pressure like that as well, but normally we just charge this. So we're playing the Bira super combo to untap in our opponent's turn, which means we don't fear tapping out. We can untap with the leader, keep pushing out plays. We don't mind tapping out because we can untap our energy with this as well. The reason why we play this is because we arrival out these. Yeah, so if our opponent tries to pressure us with any cards, we can just arrival this out, get rid of the cards that they're attacking with, and then we have a massive board to push with. One of the main strategies for the deck is you just kind of build up resources, and I'll show you how there's plenty in the deck that can build up a massive hand. The majority of my matches I'm sitting with like 15 cards in hand at least, so you just build up a massive hand. When your opponent tries to push you, you arrival a load of these out, and then the next turn you just drop 2, like one of your foos, and that's basically game, because you have such a big board out of nowhere, which you played in your opponent's turn, and then you can play the Foo Shrouded to just sneak the win off your opponent, because they can't react to it. This is the arrival engine, and it's a good way to control the opponent. We also play 4 Sensu Beans as well.
Not 3.
Not 3 this time, 4. It's just so good in this list, because not only is it good for just slapping on your leader for that defense, but it untaps the energy, so you can just arrival out more cards at the same time. So your super combo will untap 1, Bean will untap another 1, and you can just arrival out 2 cards then, and it's just your leader's safe for the turn. You've just got a board ready to go for Foo, or to just set up a kill. 3 Freezer 100% Overdrive. This card is actually insane. A lot of the time the attack, it will get negated, or they may like Goku Gohan it off the board or something like that. It's fine. The main thing it does is a 30k triple strike, and it's a board wipe. You hit this for 5, you can swing with your leader and untap, or you could just swing straight up with this, untap later. Minus 30k to everything on board and then mill them. It's absolutely insane. If this ends up staying on the board and then your opponent tries to play any cards to get rid of it, you just start arrivaling out your Hercules and your Boos. Every time a card is negged in either player's turn, they have to mill 2. So this can like wipe their board and mill for like 16, which I have done. And then they try and play stuff and push you. You start playing like your coolers, your Hercules and everything. You're negging more stuff, they're milling more stuff. So you can mill people out with this deck. It's very unexpected. They'll just keep turboing through their deck, and before they know it, you just set up a big bomb and you just mill them out and win straight up from that way. So 3 UI Gokus. Because we don't really have much to counterplay in this deck, any big bombs like Smoke Dragon, Super Saiyan Vegeta, anything that you don't want to see, like Cell X as well, you can just do this and it'll just save you for that turn and put another body on board as well. And unfortunately, sorry guys, there are a lot of draft box cards in this deck. 4 apes. We play 4 topos as well to discard the apes. So you do not want to use this defensively. I've seen people try and play my decks, and when they do, they're on like 6-7 life or something, somebody attacks them, and they'll just combo this off to not take the damage and then try and draw. That's the wrong way to play this. You just need to hold these. Even if you think it's okay to combo off because you don't have nothing to do on your turn, don't do that. Just sit on these cards, and then when you're at 4 life, you want to get the maximum value. Just start hitting the topos, let them pitch these with their discards, like the cell loop, that kind of stuff. And then you can just draw 2 with the leader, or draw 2 with this and then untap 2 with the leader, and then just keep drawing. So these will just deny your opponent's turns. You draw a hell of a lot of cards, and then you just keep pressuring with your rival stuff and foo. In addition to this, we play the 4-dimension magic. More untapping, sparking. This is just like an insane negate. We can sparking negate, untap 2, they swing with stuff, and then we can just keep arrivaling stuff out. So it's very, very hard for them to actually kill us in this deck because it's really, really defensive and controlling. We play the one all too easy as well. It's a nice target for topo if you have nothing else to pitch. It's nice if they rip this from your hand with Cell's Kamehameha, if they're trying to use the Cell loop from drop and you have to pitch a card. Anything that forces you to discard, this is a really nice card, as well as these as well. So we're not as vulnerable to hand control as other decks might be. Another reason why we're not so vulnerable to hand control is the 4 Tyranny's cost. It just allows us to draw 2. An amazing combo we like to play is have an ape in drop, pay 2, warp it, draw 2, swing with the leader, untap the 2, draw another card, then pay this, draw another 2. So for 1 card we've just drawn 5, and it's only cost us 2, which is insane. The second effect of this, not many people know about. If your opponent has more than 10 cards in hand, they have to shuffle cards in their hand back into the deck until they only have 10. I hit a Piccolo Surge with 16 in hand with this, so I drew 2, he had to put 6 back. So it's gone from him having a big hand to me having a medium to like instantly balance in the match. And then I just swing with the leader and untap 2, so it's basically cost me nothing. And it's just a huge plus for me. And the amazing spice that people saw on stream was the results of training. This was a last minute include because we were sitting there thinking about the Piccolo matchup, and they can just keep Vegeta in the Cruel or using Hidden Potential, that kind of stuff. Just to deny your pans coming on board, so you can't awaken and it gets really difficult. Same with Cell, they'll just sit down, loop your hand and not pressure you, and they can stop the pans if you don't draw them. So we put the 1 results of training in just in case they just try and sit there, do nothing and stall, and then we just slap that results of training down, and then a Soul Striker with 8 life is pretty threatening. So we played the 1 of that. It did come up, it caught people completely by surprise, and it did win a few games, so amazing tech choice there. Looking at the side deck then, we went with 3 Whis. This was for the Boo matchup, the Gohan matchup, anything that's like, even the starter Broly, anything that's super aggro, we just put these in. Then we have like such a crazy amount of negates, we never lose that matchup. I played against Boo, I played against starter Gohan, like the reboot Gohan. I played against all those matchups and it was 2-0. It was never under pressure at any time. It was just really, really comfortable. The nice thing about Boo as well, it's pretty much a free win because we just arrive at our stuff, neg them, and then they kind of don't like that very much. 2 King Yama. We put this in against anything that plays apes. If they want to drop apes to drop, we can put it back and draw. If you play against Cell, you can put the 17s back, you can put the actual Cell that recurs in the drop back. If you play against Boo, you can also put their 6-drop and big guys back under the deck. They're going to mill out anyway, so if their main cards are at the bottom of the deck, then there's nothing they can do to you. So, nice card. Draws a card as well when you play it, so it just replaces itself essentially. 2 Mafuba, an amazing card against U7. It's good against Boo as well. Like anything Victory Strike, anything that's going to be threatening, you can just slap this on it and shut them down. So, really good card. 2 of these is for the U7 matchup when they play the Invoker Vegeta. That card is a little bit of a problem. I was a little bit of an idiot and thought they could Royal Condemnation my Foo, so I sat there not playing Foo Shrouded for ages, and then I was like, you know what, I've just got to go for it. I played the Foo, and then I realised it can only hit 8 drops, so Foo is safe. So Universe 7 is pretty much a free win for this deck. But this is just to get rid of the Invoker early game, just so you know, you can still do your stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it just keeps disrupting them. 2 Dark Power Black Mass Sin. It's really nice against Hachi. It's really nice against Cell. Anything that abuses playing 15 or less, you can play it in. Also, if you play against anything that tries to slow play you and grind you out, if you're not going the results of training route and you do need to aggro them down really quickly, if the plan is not to out-control them but to rush them and kill them, then we can put these in to take extra life to try and awaken quicker as well and pressure a bit more. 2 more results of training in the side, so when they do soul us out, we have more chance of seeing this. It's really cool, it's really fun. It is in there a bit more for fun than anything else, but you'd be surprising how much work it does actually put in. Yes, they can play the Hellfire Android to crit us down to 4 when that comes out. It's fine, that just sets up our drop for Foo anyway. But the main point of doing this really early is that to draw 2 from the Awaken, and then we're just constantly swinging with the leader and adding cards to hand, which makes it a lot more difficult for their hand control to neg cards. So even though we're getting hit by the Hellfire, it doesn't matter. We're generating a lot of cards, and all it's doing is putting Spark in, not Spark in the Overwhelm online for Foo. So we really don't mind that at all. The last card was the Android 21 Scheme. I had the spots open, so I didn't really know what to put in. It was just mainly, if they play against like Hachi or something fun like that, I could just play this, fill their board with tokens, swing with an overdrive and mill them for like 50 in one turn. It never came up, but it was also for Cell to put the tokens on board so they can't Cell loot me. So yeah, I could generate a huge hand. I did this against Max in testing in friendlies, and yeah, I just slapped him on the board and it just shut him down, so it was really nice. I would probably swap these though for a Haru Haru's. The way Piccolo Surge is going now is it's playing a little more aggressive, and it's not leaving the mana open for Vegeta the Cruel and a hidden potential in that early game. So you could just play the Haru Haru, it'll mill 3, and then that'll get your Foo Shrouded on a bit faster, so you can just push them quite hard and just go for the win that way. And that's the list.
Nice. Any changes you will make after today?
I'd like to put more of that 1-drop freezer in. How I'd find room for it, I have no idea yet. I do have to play a little bit with the list. Possibly. I have actually made another build as well, completely different to this, that I've been testing. It's the red-blue freezer swap. I've built it earlier, tested a few games with it, and it's actually completely insane. It's really, really busted. So I'm going to keep working on that as well. And yeah, I can probably get a list for that quite soon as well when I'm refined, but otherwise this deck is very, very solid. You know, we took 31st and 36th in a Surge meta with a lot of really good players here. Yeah, so there's not much more to say in it really. Last set I played quad color. I wanted to play quad color so I could test every single color that could possibly be played in this. So whenever new cards come out, or like set 9 for example, I know how they're going to interact with the Soul Striker deck exactly, and I know which colors and which line of play I want to go walking forward. But red-blue is definitely the best option for this. Blue-green is also really good because Bad Omen is an insane card, but at the moment the green cards that you play aren't as great. The Piccolo simulated ability, too many things get rid of barrier, so it's not as great, but there's a lot of options, a lot of room to build this, but I really like red-blue at the moment.
Right, great.
Cool.